Welcome to Parry Style Poem. I hope all the children are enjoying and learning the summaries of the lessons and poems. Without taking much time, I am presenting the summary of The Thief's story is given in this video.
Introduction to the lesson. Bholi is a story written by K.A. Abbas. The story revolves around a girl who, due to accidental fall and disease in her childhood, faces the problem of being dull and ugly. She is always a target by everyone for not being good-looking and intelligent. Her life turns when she joins a nearby school, where her teacher encourages her and helps her to become a learned and confident person. Later in the story, circumstances arise where Bholi has to give acceptance to the marriage with an unequal match but rejects it when she sees her father pleading to the bridegroom when he demands dowry. The story shows the rise of a girl against social injustice. Summary of the story. This Indian-based story opens up with the introduction of a little girl named Sulekha. In it, the common problem of differentiating between boys and girls is very powerfully shown. Sulekha was called Bholi for being a simpleton. This was so because some part of her brain had got damaged due to an injury during her childhood. To worsen the things for her, she stammered and had pockmarks on her face, which she got when she had contracted smallpox at the age of 2. She was a laughingstock for everyone. Her father, Randall, was a numberer. He had 3 sons and 4 daughters, Bholi being the youngest of all. Randall was always worried about her, as it seemed impossible to marry her with her having an ugly face and a dumb mind. One day, the Tehsildar visited their village to inaugurate a girls' primary school. He persuaded Randall to send his daughters to school. Randall's wife had itchy feet and suggested to send Bholi to school, although she was against sending girls to school, because no boy would marry such a girl. She reasoned that, as Bholi had no chance of getting married, so she could go to school. In the beginning, Bholi was frightened to leave her house, but when, for the first time in her life, she was dressed up, and her hair was washed and oiled, she felt that she was to visit a better place. In the school, she met a teacher, who was very kind and polite to her. She encouraged her to study and speak with confidence. This filled hope in Bholi, and she began to go to school every day. Years passed and her village upgraded into a small town with some facilities like a cotton mill, a cinema, and the primary school being converted into a secondary school. Bholi also learned well. One day Bholi's parents decided to marry her to a lame old man who was a widower but was rich and had not demanded any dowry. They thought it to be the best marriage proposal for their dumb daughter and fixed up her marriage. But he had a daughter as old as Bholi. Bholi did not oppose her parents, as she respected her father a lot. On the wedding day, the bridegroom arrived with great pomp and show, which filled Randall with joy. The groom discovered that Bholi had pockmarks and demanded dowry in return for marrying her. He demanded a sum of 5,000 rupees. Randall got cold feet to suddenly become too frightened to do something you had planned, and begged for mercy and even placed his turban in Bishambhar's feet, but Bishambharnath did not agree. Randall had to give the money in order to save both his family's honor and his daughter's marriage. Bholi had evil eyes and could not bear all this and refused to marry a greedy old man. People accused her of being shameless. The wedding party returned. The marriage ceremony ended without Bholi getting married. Her father was surrounded by grief and said that now no one would marry her, and what would she do in future? To this, she replied that she would take care of her parents. when they grew old and would teach in her school. She felt the nearer the bone, the sweeter the meat, as she could see her plans hatching perfectly. Her teacher, who was quietly watching all this, felt proud of her decision. This shows that education can give wings to one's desire and made her back on her feet, to be confident or healthy again.
Thank you children for paying attention. I hope you understood the summary.